me, it's me, Kevin Smith. Are you listening to the right podcast? Because you're supposed to be listening to Three Guys in a Flick. Are you listening to that right now? Then you're in the right place. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
There's a way out of this game. Kill yourselves together, here, now. If you can't do that, then don't trust anyone. Just run.
Three guys and a flick with Don, Ken, and John. Dive into the movies well after the dawn. From the good to the bad to the wildly absurd. They give a fuck about films. Their voices are heard.
Welcome back. You are listening to Three Guys and a Flick. This is where we review the good, the bad, and the absurd. Tonight's episode, Battle Royale. Beware spoilers. Coming to you from Grid 3G on a mysterious island, my name is Don. And to my right, we have the comic book guy, John.
Heidi ho.
And to my left, we have the professor, Ken.
Konnichiwa.
Hey, what did you guys get in your backpacks?
I got a plunger.
A plunger? What did you get?
I got 2 D-cell batteries.
Oh, maybe it goes with this. Tonight we are talking about Battle Royale. Battle Royale comes to us via the Broncos helmet and was submitted by Nolan N. You guys remember Nolan, yes?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Did we ever let him out of the box?
It's been a while since we've checked.
There hasn't been any noises coming
It's
from
been
the
a
box for
while since we've checked.
All right, well, maybe sometime after this we should check that out. So thanks, Nolan, I think, for throwing this into the Broncos helmet. This one's for you. Released on December 16th, 2000, Battle Royale was directed by Kinji Fukasaku. Written by Kenta Fukasaku. Based on Battle Royale by Koshin Takami. And it stars a lot of Japanese actors.
Can we just apologize ahead of time that we're going to butcher a lot of these names?
If we even attempt to try out of
Respect.
Well, not only that, but just sheer of embarrassing myself.
Yeah.
I'll probably refer to these guys as the hero, the hero's girlfriend,
The
headband
nerd.
guy, one of the crazy 88s.
The hacker.
The hack. Thank you. I was looking for one for him. All right, cool. We've set the ground rules.
Go.
Yes.
How'd this movie do, Don?
This movie was made for $4.5 million and brought in $31 million.
They had a rough time making this movie. Japanese censors did not... First of all, they tried to ban the book originally.
Yep.
And then they tried for years to make this movie. And it just... The rating boards at that time did not want a movie like this.
Yeah.
They thought it would, I guess it would have the Clockwork Orange effect. They thought it would inspire kids to go out and do bad things.
I can see why they would think that.
Me too.
Had either of you heard of this movie before?
I had heard of it a long time ago, and it was on my list of movies I wanted to see because I knew it was inspiration for movies we're still seeing today.
Yeah. And I too have heard of it, but I had never seen it. What about you?
I had heard wasps of it, but I hadn't, kept it on my radar in any way.
Sure. Well, hey, at least we all heard of it, right?
Yeah, you'd never seen it before?
No, I had never seen it before.
Okay.
No, I think the reason why I'd even heard of it was because of Quentin Tarantino.
Right. It's one of the films that he loves.
It's one of his favorite movies, yeah.
Yeah, and I can see why, without a shadow of a doubt, easily.
Yeah. He watched this movie and immediately said, that's go-go.
Yeah. How did you guys watch it? Did you guys watch it with subtitles?
I watched it with subtitles, yes.
The first time I watched it, because I watched it twice this week, I watched it with the subtitles, and then I found out it's also, it's on Prime for subtitles, on Tubi if you want to watch the dubbed version.
Oh, gotcha.
So I watched it the second time with the dub, just to see if there's any differences. I usually will prefer dub versions. The dub version wasn't, I think, as good because they changed a lot. Even the subtitles didn't match the dialogue they were saying. The problem I had, though, with the non-dub version, the subtitle version, is I was watching the subtitles and the action was so quick in this movie, I kept having to rewind and catch things.
Oh, yeah. When I watch the subtitles, they just kind of blur into the image. So I've gotten used to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, going deaf really helps.
But what really helped, for me was to catch the people's names was using the subtitles.
Agreed. And then trying to get the pronunciation as they're saying the names at the same time. So, had either of you heard of this director before?
I had not, but apparently he is actually was a pretty famous director in Japan, and he was getting to the end of his career when he did this. It was his son that wrote the screenplay and actually helped him film some of the scenes. He filmed this one, and unfortunately, he passed away, right when they were making the second one.
I didn't even know there was a second one.
Yeah, apparently it's not very good from what I've heard. And in fact, I think for a while it was banned from the U.S. Both of them were banned. It took 10 years before this one showed up in the U.S. It wasn't banned in the U.S., the first one, but it took 10 years because of Columbine to show up here. And then the second one was banned because it has some anti-American propaganda in it.
Oh, well, there you go. Out of this cast, were there any of the actors that stood out to you?
I think his name is Tatsuya. He was the one that played the main male lead. I liked him. I thought he did a good job because he had a lot of, in such a quick-paced movie, he did able to show a lot of movie. I also liked the actor who played Kawanda. I don't know what his Kawada. I liked that guy too. I thought he did a really nice job.
Kawada was the teacher, right?
No, he's our fellow antagonist. He's
one of the transfers.
He's one of the transfer students that befriends them.
The teacher also did a great job. Anybody stand out for you?
Yeah, I think that our hero character and the girl hero, I thought they did a good job. A lot of the side characters I felt were trying to do as much as they could with what they were given. And in a movie like this, 85% of them were killed off in the first 30 minutes. And so now you have these different groups of people. But as far as the cast goes, I thought it was very well cast. They're supposed to be ninth graders, right?
Yeah, they're all
15 years old. They look a little bit older, which made it kind of better. But I thought they did well.
I read that of the cast, there was 42 kids cast as students. Of them, only 3 of them were 15 years old. The transfer kid, he was 25 when they made this film.
Motherfucker looked 25. So
doesn't surprise me a bit.
Anybody stand out for you, Professor?
No, sir, because the faces are so fast, on the screen, off the screen. Okay, do I see this character again or not? And then if I do see this character again, do I have any correlation with where I saw this character before? And as I'm trying to remember how this student is connecting with where I saw them previously, they're off the screen again. And so I had very little connection with pretty much all of the cast.
I think part of the problem is that there's such a huge cast.
It's a very big ensemble.
42 kids, and it's hard, except for the main characters that get most of the screen time, it's hard to make a connection with any of them.
And coming in at $1.49, I wasn't too, not pleased with that. So
apparently, and I never heard of this, but 10 years after this movie was released for its anniversary, they released it in 3D. How do we get that version?
That'd be a curious watch.
It would be kind of a curious watch. I don't know if it enhances it at all. I don't know. Interesting question. I don't know if I would go see it in 3D, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Would you see it in the theater?
After I have already seen it, I'd probably skip it.
I would actually suggest watching it a second time because it's a little easier to follow the characters when you actually know who they are and what their connections are the second time you watch them.
Yeah, but you got to have a stomach for this kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So sure.
There was a bit of controversy a little while back saying that this movie, basically Hunger Games was basically stealing from this movie, whereas the author of Hunger Games says she had never even heard of Battle Royale before she wrote Hunger Games. So there's a little bit of that. Squid Game has actually said that they took a lot of inspiration from this.
I saw a lot of Squid Games in it. And hey, I mean, who did it better, this one or Hunger Games? I would put my money actually toward this one.
Well,
So
Hunger Games is the whole reason why this movie hasn't had a U.S. remake. They licensed it and they were going to remake it in the U.S., but they said that the younger generations they thought would think it was a rip-off of Hunger Games, even though it came out originally before Hunger Games.
well, yeah, all you got to do is look at the fucking internet.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems like a silly reason. Yeah. I would pick this one over Hunger Games any day of the week.
Okay.
Trivia?
I do have some trivia questions if you gentlemen are up to the task.
Oh, is this our own Battle Royale?
Well, let's not go that far.
I'm going to hit you with my plunger if...
Well, as soon
if
as I
you
get
win.
the fucking batteries, this thing, you know where it's going.
All right, gentlemen, it is trivia time, and nobody is going to die for losing the game. So don't feel pressured or stressed in any way about that.
He says that now.
I know.
Question number 1. Why was girl number 18 the first student to be murdered by her teacher?
Dawn.
Don?
Because she was whispering during the fucking video.
So true. Question number 2. At what time does the game begin?
Dawn.
John?
1:40 a.m.
Correct. Point to John. Question number 3. During the scene where the guys discover that there's a mic in the necklace, the guys are given 5 things to find. Name any one of the items.
John.
Dawn.
John?
Gasoline.
No, sir.
Charcoal.
Charcoal is one of the items.
Fertilizer. That was the
Fertilizer.
one I was looking for.
Point to Don. Yes, there was fertilizer, pesticide, charcoal, sulfur, and kerosene.
Yes.
Question number 4. How many times does the GPS tracker boy get shot?
John.
And this is by my count.
5 times?
No, sir.
I'm going to say, with the amount of bullets that these kids fired,
She empties the gun.
I know. 9.
9 is not the correct answer.
Damn, the way he said that, I thought I nailed it.
The correct answer that I counted anyway was 6, which I totally don't buy because that's a modern looking gun with a clip in it. And who ever heard of a clip with only 6 bullets in it?
Maybe there was only 6 left from
Yeah.
a prior use.
That could be too.
Yeah, we'll get into this whole gun firing thing because, man.
Question number 5. When the trio of boys rejoice in their success of their completion of work, they name 3 kinds of weapons that they had the most of, which was Molotovs. What did they have the least of?
You motherfucker. Dawn. Time bombs.
John?
Throwing stars?
I don't like that face. Why? Did you got to take a shit or something? What's going on there, bud?
No, regardless, you win the round because you were up 2-1, but they were not time bombs. It just that they were,
Detonators?
no, it said 2 bombs.
Oh.
They were not time bombs, but there were 2 bombs.
That's okay.
So Don is the winner of this week.
I pulled it off. I won the Battle Royale.
There it is.
Following a recession, Japan's authoritarian government passes the Battle Royale Act to combat juvenile delinquency. Each year, a randomly selected junior high school is forced to fight to the death. Student Shua is struggling with his father's suicide when his friend Nobu attacks their teacher, Kitano, with a knife. Kitano resigns while Noruko secretly keeps the weapon. 1 year later, Shua's class is gassed during a school trip and awakens on a remote island wearing explosive collars. Kitano announces that they have 3 days to kill one another until only one survivor remains. Entering prohibited areas or refusing to participate will cause their collars to explode. Each student receives supplies with a random weapon. Kitano kills 2 students, including a girl and a boy, before releasing them onto the island. Within 6 hours, 12 students are dead. A troubled loner and a transfer student quickly become the deadliest players. Shua accidentally kills a classmate while defending himself, while basketball player Kinji recruits others to help him hack the program's computer system. Shua promises to protect Noriko because Nobu had feelings for her. They are eventually rescued by transfer student Shogu, who reveals that he survived a previous Battle Royale after his girlfriend sacrificed herself. He enters the current game to avenge her and destroy the program. Kiriyama attacks the group and wounds Shua, but Hiroki carries him to safety. Yeah, what the fuck did we watch?
Yeah, we get this opening with a quick synopsis of the state of things in Japan, and we have the Battle Royale quest emblem. It's slowly rotating as we are hearing about, the dire situation of things, and it ends with the Millennium Educational Reform Act, also known as the Battle Royale Act, the BR Act.
Right.
The whole point that the director was going for and the book writer were going for is it's supposed to be twofold. It's a metaphor for the loss of innocence of children basically, their childhood dying as they become adults. It's also an anti-authoritarian movie, basically to say this Japanese government in this, different world, this alternate world, has become completely authoritarian, and the only way they can keep control is to strike fear in the children.
And this is a very different tack or angle of approach that America would understand with this, because the mores and the zeitgeist and the standards that you have in the Japanese culture versus the culture of America are incredibly different. The hierarchy of the family structure and the rigidity of the properness of how everything is supposed to be applied in the Japanese culture is completely, foreign to the American experience. And so this is just a very crazy watch for America, but to the Japanese culture, this is something that is something of a very interesting take through the optics of a Japanese culture.
Sure.
So we start with kind of, it looks like, I think, a news broadcast showing that a little girl has won the current. It's supposed to be like a year before.
And what's funny is I immediately go back to The Long Walk because similar.
Yeah, I have to say I had wafts of that as well.
And then I thought, oh, hey, another run. And then I thought, oh, yeah, Ken's going to love this fucking movie. Mm-hmm. But what'd you think of that little girl?
The interesting thing with the little girl with the creepy ass smile, if you look at the Japanese manga version, because there's 3 versions of this. There's the book, the manga, and the movie. If you look at the manga, that scene is framed exactly from the manga with the creepy ass smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it tells us that there are 43,000 classes that were eligible for it, and this one took 2 days, 7 hours, 43 minutes for this Battle Royale to take place.
And, just given the look on the little girl's face and the camera's pushing in and you think she's going to be traumatized and just out of it, she fucking gives this evil grin. And then I start thinking, what the fuck has she seen?
Well, she's been traumatized.
She's seen some shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And probably killed some people.
And then cut to this class photograph where nobody is smiling.
No.
Nobody.
Ominous. A little bit. And then we get to meet our hero.
Yeah, is this where they give a flashback to his father?
Yeah. We meet our hero when he bumps into his dad who had just committed suicide.
Yeah, and right before that, he reveals that his mom left when he was like 4.
Oh, in 4th grade. Mother left them when they're in 4th grade, and dad, when he's in 7th grade, hangs himself. God. Golly.
Now, what
Happy days. So we see a girl. She shows up for class, but there's nobody in class. It's just the teachers sitting there. And it turns out that this is going to be, somebody. He's going to come back to play a major role in a big way. It's Kitano, and there's something scribbled on the board about that they decided not to show up for class.
And so this part kind of confused me a little bit because I wasn't sure what was happening really.
this scene he's talking about, the classes all skipped. They all aren't showing up for school.
They just decided they didn't want to show up.
Oh, okay.
This is just kind of supposed to show us that nobody respects this teacher. He has no respect in the classroom. We find out later he has no respect at home. He's kind of miserable. He starts to walk out into the hallway, and they never explain this, but Nobu runs out of the classroom and slashes him right in the ass. So
Who knows?
it's just weird. What was the point of slashing the teacher? But they kind of say that the kids just have no respect for the teachers.
Well,
And
then
because-
that's the reason.
And because of that, I felt like that felt a little shoehorned in to have this student, for whatever reason, I'm going to take a knife to one of my teachers, and that's to show the belligerence of the students in general, and they need to be brought back into check.
Mm-hmm. We also find out that Kitano, he's not allowed to discipline the kids. So he basically just has to take it. He can't do anything about it. So he just kind of, looks over at the girl who picks up the knife and then just wanders away. And then he quits and never comes back to the classroom.
That's kind of like being a real teacher.
See,
Can't hit these little fuckers back.
I didn't get any of that. And now we're on a bus, and everybody seems to be on some sort of a field trip, and everybody is on cloud nine, having so much fun. And we get a gentle undercurrent of that things are a little dystopian because they continually show numerous soldiers that the bus drives by. They must have shown like 4 or 5 groups of soldiers. They didn't look like checkpoints, but they looked like that maybe they were there to kind of sort of keep the peace, maybe. I don't know.
Well, we are in a dystopian future,
Sure.
so, I mean, it kind of goes along with the production.
It's
design, I would think.
authoritarian. It was supposed to give you a feeling like the military was in control. But all the kids are just having fun.
Lighthearted fun.
We find out that Nobu, who has not been attending school the last couple of years, has come back just for the field trip and shown up because the girl had called him and said, hey, why don't you come back for this field trip?
And the girl that's the same one that was in the classroom, right? So we know that she is kind of studious and she cares,
Yeah.
if you will.
And she's brought cookies.
And so they're on this bus, and then they all kind of fall asleep.
They're gassed on the bus, apparently.
Yeah, so our main protagonist, I didn't know which names to use, and so my notes that I have for myself, I have an abbreviation of his last name, which is Nanahara, and so I just refer to him as Nana. And then the other character is our the female protagonist. She's Nakagawa, and so I just call her Naka. So there's Nana and Naka.
Nana and Naka, I like that.
I like hero, and mine's hero and girl hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we have Nana. He wakes up and it's like everybody's passed out. I've been on a bus like that before where everybody's asleep. But when you see that person walking towards you and they're wearing a gas mask, it's like, oh.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
One interesting thing that we see, especially when everyone's awake on the bus, is the teacher is in the back of the bus and the kids are loving him. They're talking with him. They're chatting with him. When Shuya or Nana wakes up on the bus and looks back at the bus, everyone's passed out, but you notice the girls are kind of all still around that teacher. He's still amongst them, which is different than what we saw earlier with the other teacher, which is nobody respected him.
Yeah, well, he wasn't young and fun like this one.
Okay.
Because clearly that's what it was, right? And so they're all passed out, and Nana wakes up.
But he gets put back to sleep in a not so gentle way.
Now she clocks him pretty good.
Enough to make him bleed.
Yeah. And then we are now cut to a classroom where everyone is starting to wake up.
I kind of like the way the director did the camera angles and everything. And it felt like as the camera came back on, like you were waking up, kind of in a groggy sense.
Yeah, that's a great effect.
And we immediately see, him waking up. He's touching his head. There's blood on his head. and he immediately feels that he's got a collar. So we know something's not right here.
Yeah, anytime you go to sleep and wake up with a collar around your neck, you're probably fucked.
Well, after the first couple times at least.
And then, as they're waking up, they're kind of freaking out, and then the military arrives.
Yeah, in comes all the soldiers, and then Kitano in his
tracksuit.
His tracksuit comes in oh so casually.
And I remember thinking, wait, is that the same guy? Is that the teacher?
I thought
I'm trying to put two and two together, right?
Yep.
It took me a sec too, yeah.
And then I thought, are the teachers in on it, I guess? Are they working with the military?
I was wondering.
I guess they would have had to, right?
I thought at first, is this just his revenge plan? Like maybe he somehow got these kids, like volunteered them instead of being a random pick. He said, I'm going to fuck with this class.
Maybe.
So, yeah. And so this is where things get really curious because he introduces himself. I'm your 7th grade teacher. And I'm thinking to myself, 7th grade teachers? But these are supposed to be 9th grade students. So apparently it's been, a couple of years. And so with that, why is he here with the military? Is he here by his own accord? Is he here because he's being forced to? I had many questions about him being where he is.
But before you ask said questions, I'm going to need you not to whisper. This dude comes in and he's like, no whispering, no nothing. We are going to get down to business. And he starts telling them why they're there.
And he's so calm and matter of fact.
Yeah, that's what makes him terrifying.
The way he's explaining, okay, you guys have been picked, you're going to kill each other. My first question was, this Battle Royale has gone on for at least a few years, maybe more. We don't know exactly when it started or how many there have been. So the kids must already know that it happens.
See,
and that there's always
too.
one winner.
And I'm wondering, how is this supposed to improve, student morale or student behavior and having more respect for their peers and elders? I don't understand that.
It's one word, buddy. Fear.
Yeah, basically it's to show the kids that the adults still have the power.
Didn't buy it.
Yeah. What got me was, he goes and he starts explaining everything to him, and then they wheel in the teacher on a gurney or whatever it is, dead. And they basically say he failed as an adult. And I'm thinking he was actually reaching the kids. The kids actually liked him. They were, involved with him. They were friendly with him. They didn't slash his ass. So Kitano says he's a failure as an adult. Why is he a failure?
Because in their eyes, he's a failure. He was too much of the kid's buddy.
Yeah, but so he just didn't have the kids' respect? I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose.
I was struck by how blunt Kitano was. I mean, he was really straight to the point. He was very blunt about Battle Royale. So today's lesson, you will kill each other off till there is only one of you left. Nothing is against the rules. And then, holy shit, I'm thinking, whoa, that's ripping the Band-Aid off really fast.
And then so he turns on this video.
And it reminded me a little of the Captain America video.
And this moment really was kind of opened my eyes out. Like, what the fuck just happened? Kitano kills one of his students.
For whispering. That was kind
a knife to their fucking head.
That was kind of an oh fuck moment for me. When basically, she says something or whispers something and boom, she's dead and the group just goes crazy.
And to throw a knife and have it be impaled in the skull from a distance of 15, 20 feet? That motherfucker threw that thing really fucking hard to have that be impaled into the skull like that.
Yeah, well, either way, that poor girl, dead. I will say this. For what this movie is, every time the scoreboard would pop up.
And it shows up right after this. Girl number 18, Fujiyoshi, dead. 41 to go.
I love
it probably says a lot about me, but I chuckled every time that thing comes
countdown.
up.
I had to write down every time there was a countdown. But then, of course, everyone freaks out.
There's pandemonium and there's lots of gunfire and trying to get everybody settled down. All right, back to the video. What did you think of the video?
It felt very game show, because I guess the woman that was on the video, she does some anime voices, things like that, but she just was so giddy about it, and she knew people's names and everything, so it was made just for that class.
It fit the time, it fit the movie, it fit the culture, absolutely.
Felt a little Running Man to me.
But yeah, I can see that, absolutely. But I mean, she's explaining the rules and this, that, and the other, and Nobu starts to act up, and Kitano's like, "Ha."
It's funny because he acts up right after, I think, either it was the video or Kitano explains the collars around their neck. You know, you don't fuck around or the collars are going to kill you. And then he's basically the perfect time for a demonstration.
And so that happens. But I will say this. I was fully expecting his head to completely blow off his torso.
Me too.
But the bomb hits him in his neck, and it's a practical effect. And though brutal, I will say this. Thanks for not blowing his head up off his shoulders.
It also sprays blood on his, his brother, basically, his adopted brother.
Yeah. I mean, he was a squirter.
Yeah.
So the video continues, and we find out that the game has a time limit of 3 days. And if there is no clear winner, all necklaces detonate, and no one wins. So the students are given backpacks before they head out one by one.
Yeah, they get the backpack with food, 3 waters, a map, a pen, a compass, and a random weapon. And then they can also take their personal bag that they came with.
And so they start naming kids off one at a time. And we're also introduced to 2 students who volunteered.
Well, they were transfer students, is what they called them.
Yes, they were
And
transfer students.
There was the question of, did they volunteer or were they brought in? And I think, is it...
it's spread out later on.
Kawada? He basically says that they brought the transfer students in to make it more interesting.
Yeah, either way. I kind of scratched my head at that. I thought that they were the hunters. And so, yeah, the games are started. Everyone's starting to get their backpacks, get sent out into the abandoned island.
And we follow Nana outside, and he almost immediately sees someone gets killed.
Well, she's walking to him, and she's got the arrow in her neck.
Yes.
They're already dying.
And we find out that it's the first kid that left has already started killing people. He's trying to kill people as they come out the door, basically.
And then there's the count. Boy number 1, girl number 14, dead, 38 to go.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that's not kind of a smart plan if you're put into that kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's got to be all sorts of different kinds of thinking going on with these young minds as they are given a 3-day deadline. If you do something, maybe you have a chance of living, but if you do nothing, you're not going to live no matter what, because at the end of 3 days, anybody alive, if there's more than one of you, sorry, everybody goes. So Nana and Naka, they flee, and they end up heading to a cave where they seek shelter.
Well, we also, during one of the scenes, I think when the kids were all acting up, the soldiers fired into the group, and they caught Naka's arm a little bit, and this becomes infected. And you can sort of kind of see she's getting weaker while they're in the cave.
Sure, and Nana tends to that wound.
And in the meantime, we have this shot with a group of kids who have the Crazy 88 kid dead to rights, right? And
he's got a paper fan.
And they surround him. Okay, so here's my question, right? There's a lot of times where the kids who are participating have someone with a gun at their face, but they want to talk.
Well, they said, we're not killing anyone. We're not going to play this game. So we want to know what why you're here. Are you a plant? Are you, because they don't know anything about him. So they're just trying to question him.
Well, dumb, because I would have just killed him because he's not even part of the group.
Yeah.
So either way, we knew this was going to happen. This guy gets the upper hand, gets his Uzi,
gets the machine gun,
and kills all these kids.
And he gets a handgun and a couple of grenades. It's like, this is going to come back to bite us in the ass later.
Oh, yeah. No, I knew he was our monkey wrench in the gears from Jump. Yeah. Right? This movie is very forthcoming with where it's going to end up and who you should follow, which I appreciate that. Just like any other American movie would do, right? It's the same formula. But I didn't like this kid because he was unpredictable.
Yeah,
And he was someone not to be trifled with. The other one, I knew had a streak of good because he had that stoic, I'm a good guy character.
I didn't trust him at first either. I thought they were both, like you were saying, they were basically the running man hunters.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, briefly, we get to see a little bit of the control room center, if you will, that, okay, the military's got them all dialed up. They see where everybody is. They got the light. They got the whole island, totally set up for observation and such. We also get to see a couple of the students. They decide they don't want to participate at all, so they're going to commit suicide, then jump off the cliff into the ocean and the rocks.
It didn't seem like the boy was too into it, but he kind of got pulled off with her.
I agree with you, comic book guy. He looked like he was kind of coerced into.
He was kind of second guessing it.
Yeah, but so 2 more dead, and then we get the scoreboard.
Yeah, we're introduced to, I think her name is Mitsuki or
Mitsuko. Yeah. So we see this one girl. She's like in some sort of a shed or something like that, and she's looking at the Polaroids that were apparently taken on the bus. And she hears somebody rattling the door. She quickly turns off the light, and this girl comes in. And our first girl, she wields a taser. Who's there? Who's there? And then you get the flashlight of this girl shining it to her face, and it's Mitsuko. And she has an extremely sinister smile, and it's just like, okay, you're here to fuck things up.
This is kind of what I'm talking about, right? The one girl who's not Mizuko gets the upper hand, and she wants to monologue. The sinister smile with the flashlight is evidence enough to just, you know what, let's be done with this one, because she, too, like the Crazy 88, is a wild card. And she is throughout the fucking film. And she gets a sickle. That's her weapon.
yeah, and so she slashes the girl's throat.
Fucking brutal.
Fucking brutal. And then we see 2 more people hanged outside. Maybe she's got something to do with it. I don't know. It's not revealed.
No, at this point, I mean, we're just waiting for the countdown to finish to see who's going to be last.
Pretty much. So Dana and Naka, it's the next morning, and it's 6 a.m., and the loudspeakers are playing, and then we get a little bit of the who's died. And so we get that brief list, and then we have this whole bit, where we are hearing about, you guys are doing great. It's just like, what the hell? A pep talk?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you're killing each other wonderfully. And so he just doesn't give a crap about these kids, except for one kid. He has an attachment to one of the kids.
That gets revealed in the 3rd act.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that's done, then all of a sudden this kid pops up with a hatchet. And,
That's right.
And Hatchet Kid, he rushes him, and there's a scuffle. They roll down the hill, and whoops, he ends up with it in his head.
Well, the crazy thing about it is the kid comes out like a psycho trying to kill them with the thing. As soon as he gets the axe to the head, he's all like, hey, what's going on? He seems like to come back to his senses for like 2 seconds before he dies.
And then
That's what an axe to the head will do for you.
But we also get
it's
the
a
girl.
hatchet.
We get the girl in the bushes who witnesses this and gets freaked out by it, and that comes back later to haunt us later. It's her actions.
And then then we get another guy that shows up almost immediately, and he's got a handgun, and he shoots from like less than 10 feet away, and he misses?
As a moviegoer, it was kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a dick. I don't know.
And he shoots again, and he misses again from the same range. It's like, Jesus.
Well, this is where I think Kawada, we get an introduction of him because he comes over the hill with the shotgun.
Yes, he shows up and he shoots that guy. So now these 3 are together, and then they hear these 2 girls off in the distance. This is the Bullhorn girls.
Yeah. We all don't have to cooperate. We all don't have to kill each other. Let's just all come together.
And work together and figure a solution out.
And really all they're doing is by using the bullhorn, attracting attention.
They sure are.
So Crazy 88 guy,
Gets up to the top of the hill.
and he guns him down with Uzis.
And then he puts the megaphone to the girl's mouth so that she can kind of whimper and cry loudly.
Might be one of the most brutal scenes here. And it's just a very simple action.
And then what does he do? shoots her again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, he's got to make sure that he's dead.
It's just to show us really that this guy is sadistic. I mean, he is our
I chalk him up
murderer or
with
psycho in it.
the female version of him, Maruko.
Mitsutsu or
Mitsuko.
Yep.
Mitsuko.
Her. I think they're on the same plane.
The next thing that takes place is it's time for the second report, and it's 12 p.m., and this is where we see all the guards. They're standing at attention. They all have their rifles in the little teepee.
And Kitano apparently has some power over them. They're all taking his orders.
Yeah, it's like he's in charge.
Yeah.
And so now we have Mitsuko. She comes back to her little hut that she was staying at, and she's greeted with another girl with a gun. And she has deduced pretty smartly that Mitsuko is probably responsible for the death of the other girl based on the tampon in the toilet. And I checked, and she wasn't ready yet.
I know. When she said, I checked, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That was a little out there for me. But then she also says, let me guess, your weapon was a stabbing, slicing thing. And that's who sliced, I saw she had a sliced throat.
And it's at that point, I'm thinking, pull the trigger. And
No shit.
And you're done with
Stop,
it.
no, you're
stop
right.
with the monologuing.
She monologues and gets the taser to the gun.
Yep. And then she kills the gal.
She tries to flee, and what does she get? She gets shot in the back. So Nana and Naka, they're walking along the cliffside, and she collapses. She can't carry on anymore. She's done.
And Naka's tripping, right? He's like, what's wrong? What are we going to do? And so he carries her
He carries her. You knew
to
that.
the infirmary.
Yeah, that
They have an infirmary on the island.
on the map.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And of course, you knew he was going to be the nobleman and
then
carry her.
This is where they run right back into Kawada, who has set up some traps. I like how he's going through all this stuff, and he's helping her, with the shots and everything.
And tends to her wounds.
And did you get? And I don't know if I think I didn't catch this right away, but he says, "Well, my father is a doctor."
Yeah.
But then, did you notice that kept changing
Of
throughout the
course.
story?
Yes.
My father was a cook. My father was a fisherman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we cut to these three guys that are, like screaming, trying to get something up the stairs. And here comes a fourth guy.
A generator.
And their plan is to hack into the computer system and take control of the necklaces.
Well, what I liked is they asked that fourth guy, "How did you find us? How'd you get here?" And it turns out his random weapon that was in his bag, was a tracker that could track all the neck
GPS
bands.
tracker.
Yeah, interesting weapon to have.
So for me, that's it sounds like it's not a great thing to have, but you could stay away from everybody.
Oh,
with
no,
that.
no. It's absolutely a great thing to have.
I thought it was
for sure.
I thought it was very valuable.
He basically helps them out. They start getting set up. The one guy figures out that they're listening through the necks.
That there's a microphone in the necklace.
Yeah.
I thought that was a huge reveal.
Yeah, and so he starts typing things out instead of.
I mean, yes, it is a huge reveal, but at some point you have to say, duh,
Yeah.
right? Because they're tracked everywhere all over the island. They're totally accounted for. Of course, they're listening to him as well.
And so we have this quick little list. Go fill my shopping list, and he has those 5 things that he has them go off to get.
And right away, for anybody who's ever watched these kind of movies, when he starts listing everything, you think, oh, he's building a bomb.
No shit. That's exactly what I thought too.
Sulfur, fertilizer,
Yep.
kerosene. Yeah, you know what's coming.
Yep. And then we have one of our characters. She's in that yellow tracksuit.
Oh, this is
we'll
Go-Go.
we'll call her Go-Go.
And she's running. It's like, okay, I can see where Kill Bill gets this from right here.
Yeah.
This is an interesting scene because it kind of starts off with either a daydream or a fantasy.
Hallucination or
because
something, yeah.
It's a flashback, and I liked how, if you looked at it, she's not wearing the collar when
Exactly.
the kid's
Yeah,
on the
no,
bike.
I noticed that too.
And as soon as
Exactly.
she goes around the corner, she's still wearing the same outfit, but then the neck collar's back again. So okay, now we're back to reality.
Yep.
She runs into this other guy, and they start having a dialogue.
I thought at
Crossbow
first,
boy.
and this guy is a creeper who basically says, hey, we're going to die. Might as well do it at least once.
And she doesn't want to have anything to do with this guy.
And so she starts backing off, and the crossbow accidentally goes off and cuts her face.
And all of a sudden, just in her eyes, I saw Go-Go. Did you not see like the psychotic? This is why Tarantino picked her.
Yes, that's what I saw.
So she draws a knife. They get into a scuffle. And holy shit, she takes the knife to his balls. What the hell?
Yeah, there was a couple of scenes of those.
And then
so
Mitsuko shows up.
So now we have Gogo versus Masuko. What could go wrong?
Oh, she has a handgun.
Yeah, what can go wrong? She can't hit anything. And so Gogo is off the run, but she does get hit, probably from a random bullet or a stray bullet or something.
I don't know. It looked like she got hit several times, but I was thinking as she's running away, Mitsuko, she fires 4 shots. And I'm thinking, how can she still be running away if she's been hit? But when Nana finds her, it's like, oh, she did get hit because she's bloody all over.
Well,
but that's not Nana. That was the dude who she was running with in her hallucination.
Which was GPS Boy.
Yes, that was GPS
that
Boy.
was GPS
That's
Boy?
who he was going off. He was going off to find her, and he was using the GPS to get to her. That's how he found her. And he basically reveals, I was waiting for you outside of the classroom, and unfortunately you went off in another direction, and I've been trying to find you since.
And you get a sweet moment, if you will. I find that, a lot of the times when a girl or a boy dies alongside another boy or a girl, they always kind of profess their feelings for each other. Mm-hmm. And this one's no different. She was like,
you're cool.
Yeah. And he was like, do I look cool? And she's like, you're so cool. And then another one gone. Update the scoreboard. Oh, so we are back at the infirmary. And yes. Nana and Nako and Headband Guy,
they're sharing some food together, and Kawada, he starts sharing some stuff about his personal life.
And we find out that he was already been through this, and he's coming back to put a stop to it. But then he tells us about his girlfriend.
We get this flashback that he has when it's just him and his girlfriend left.
And it turns out that he kills her to win the game.
I was really questioning this because, I watched this twice. The first time I thought, did she kind of fake, like pretending like she was going to shoot him just to make him shoot her so that way he would survive? But no, the second time, she did shoot him.
See, that's how I took it. She shot him. He rolls down the hill, and then he shoots her. And
then we cut to the dude on a moped being chased by Crazy 88 guy. And
he's got, how much ammo does he have?
Crazy 88 guy?
Yeah.
Tons.
Apparently, because he keeps changing the magazine every so often.
Holy shit. He is so cavalier about firing that machine gun.
I know, because he's a shitty shot, too. And so he thinks that he gets the guy on the moped, and he takes off. But the guy on the moped does the classic, I'm celebrating way too soon, because he's wearing a bulletproof vest. And he's being loud about it. And who's standing above him?
Up on the roof. It's like, what?
Crazy 88 guy. Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed far-fetched.
A movie about classmates killing each other until there's one left. A guy showing up top of looking down on another guy. That part seems far-fetched.
Well, that seemed far-fetched after, if I have a machine gun in my hand and I rattle him with bullets.
You walk away, but that guy doesn't wait. He immediately starts going, ha, 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 ha. So as he heard that, he just walked up the hill and waited him to finish celebrating.
Now, the key thing is this was happening outside the infirmary where our 3 heroes, are still in the infirmary trying to be quiet during the whole thing. And they make some kind of noise because in comes the head through the window.
With the grenade. Okay. And geez Louise.
Nice touch.
Oh, brother.
All I kept thinking is, that sure is a mouthful.
Of course you were. And the grenade goes off.
Goes off.
Nana, he can't quite get to them, but he's going to lead. He's going to lead Gogo. Is that his name that we're calling him?
He's Crazy 88 guy.
Crazy 88 guy. He's going to lead Crazy 88 off.
Right. And as they are running, Crazy 88's getting ready to shoot him.
He's spraying the bullets again.
Can't hit him.
He does. He'll swing him a few times.
He's a great stormtrooper.
Yeah. And Nana has to jump off a cliff, basically, and jump into the water.
Well, he does that right after GPS tracking boy tries to get some sort of a distraction.
And then GPS boy jumps into the water too, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
But Nana has been hit.
Suya awakens in a lighthouse where Yuki and 5 other girls have agreed not to participate in the game. However, Yoko believes Suya is dangerous and poisons food intended for him. Another girl accidentally eats the poison meal and dies. Panic and accusation lead to a shootout that kills everyone except Yuko. Realizing her mistake, Yuko jumps from the lighthouse. Suya reunites with Noriko and Kawada, and the trio set out to find Mimura. Sugimura eventually finds Kyoko, the girl he loves, but she panics and shoots him. He confesses his love before dying. Masuko then kills Kyoko, but is later confronted and killed by Crazy 88 Guy. Mimura and 2 classmates successfully infiltrate the military's computer system, but Kitano resets it. Kiriyama attacks their hideout and kills Mimura's companion. Mortally wounded, Mimura detonates a homemade bomb, destroying the base and blinding Crazy 88 Guy. When Shura, Nokiro, and Kawada arrive, Kiriyama attacks again. He wounds Kawada, but Kawada manages to detonate Crazy 88's collar, killing him. And you know what? Again, guys, I apologize for just the utter brutalization of these names.
It's rough.
This was probably, for me, one of the roughest scenes. Because she wakes up, and at first I thought this was Naka, the hero girl waking him up, but it was just another girl from the bus. And she's waking him up. He's, been bandaged up. She's been taking care of him. It's the first time she's touched a boy. But she locks him in the room because nobody's for sure if they can trust him, but they can all trust each other downstairs. All these girls, getting along.
Yeah, this scene was pretty brutal. And it turns out that the girl who was with Nana when Homeboy hit himself in the head with the hatchet, she's there, and she's been under the impression this whole time that Nana killed him. And so now she was going to get even, and it shows us her little vial of poison.
Well, she thinks he's a murderer, and that he's going to try to murder them. So her plan is to kill him before he can kill any of them.
She gets the poison, and she puts it in his spaghetti. And I knew this was coming.
No shit.
How could you not know?
No
right?
shit.
Another girl jumps in line because she's fucking hungry, and she starts eating the spaghetti.
Why doesn't the first girl do something or just bap it out of her arm?
Because she's paralyzed in fear.
God,
Yeah.
she's so fucking stupid.
She's in panic mode, and yeah.
And so the one girl dies, and then all chaos ensues.
They all start
goes to
blaming
hell.
each other. They all don't trust each other. And it ends up with basically one of those standoffs where they all just end up shooting each other.
And who lives?
The girl who poisoned the food.
Shit.
Yeah.
But she does, however, let Nana out of his room.
And I watch her go up while he goes down. It's like, oh, she's going to throw herself off the lighthouse out of guilt.
Hey, what happened, Professor?
Exactly that.
Yeah, you had to see that coming a mile away as well. So all of the kids are dead in the lighthouse.
Which really takes our numbers. I mean, we're down to barely anybody left.
10 to go. So Naka and Kawada, they are together. And we have this weird flashback or dream or something that I don't know.
Yeah, her and the teacher, right?
Naka and it's her with Kitano, the teacher, and they're on a river bank, but they're talking to each other, but we can't hear what they're talking about. And then all of a sudden it cuts to Kitano, and he gets a call from home with it. Nobody likes him at home. I'll be home tomorrow type of thing. And then all of a sudden, I had the weirdest dream. It's like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, this was one of those things that threw me for a loop, and I kind of scratching my head a little bit. Clearly, the teacher has some sort of affection, if you will, for the student.
Yeah, she was the only student who was ever nice to him, and only ever student who ever showed him any respect.
And I think that's where that's coming from.
Yeah, it was just odd.
It was just weird.
And then we have another flashback that Nana has about him and his dad. They're sitting at a restaurant. And I don't know, Nana, he looks very disinterested in being there. Dad's a little unhinged. And then all of a sudden, oh, we're back to suicide again. Okay.
The interesting thing is, I don't know if you noticed how many times it's said or alluded to, but like the suicide note basically tells him to keep going. And other characters in this movie keep telling him, keep going. And so that's kind of the theme for him throughout this whole movie, is to keep going.
But anyway, she wakes from her dream and she decides, I got to go find Nana right now. And Kawada, he's like, wait, where are you going? And she just takes off and she doesn't find him. Instead, she finds Misuko. Great.
Who's ready to off her.
Yeah, and what does she say? She says, God, what does she say? She says, die, ugly.
Yeah.
Because that was up from that whole bathroom scene where they had locked her in the bathroom in one flashback and called her ugly something.
Yeah. Anyway, all of a sudden she freaks, and I'm thinking, oh, it must be Kawada that shows up. No, it's Kitano, and he's standing there in his tracksuit and an umbrella. Is this a dream?
I thought it was a dream too.
And then, Nana shows up, and he's still in the picture. And then he gives her his umbrella. She's like, what the hell?
Don't know. One of those head scratchers.
I got the point that, we'd kind of hinted this, but he obviously cares about her and feels bad that she's involved in this and is kind of hoping she will win. It's revealed at the end that he wanted her to win pretty badly. And so he kind of comes out, I think, to check on her because he has the tracking devices too. He can see exactly where she is.
You don't look as bad.
Yeah, and so he comes out and gives her the umbrella and then just walks away.
Weird.
But yeah, and what they were going for, because they talked about this a little bit in the documentary, is he was supposed to be a villain who you hated, but at the same time you felt sorry for because he was, while he was very sadistic, he was also very lonely. And is that, and the kids treated him like crap. So are you supposed to love him, hate him, despise him, pity him? They were trying to make you feel all those feelings about this teacher guy and really question what his motives are.
And then we
cut to GPS tracker boy, and he is in this building and he is looking for this girl, and she doesn't know what to make of him being there. So
she's hiding in the rafters.
Yeah, so she just stands up and unloads the clip on him.
And she hits him
multiple times.
And he tells her to run because he thinks that other people will
gunfire is going to draw attention
to her. And so, then he also tells her that he liked her.
He professes his love for her.
Yeah. And another brutal death.
Yeah, and she's like, what am I supposed to do? And then we get Mitsuko, die, bam, shoots her immediately.
And she gone.
But then who shows up right after that?
And she gets killed with one shot, just like that. Bam, right? Okay. And then we get Crazy 88, and he does a clip into her, I guess. I don't know.
No, I hits her a couple times, but
it's a fucking machine gun.
Well, she shoots him first, but then she slashes him first with the sickle thing, and he reveals, I've got the bulletproof vest on. And then that's when he goes after her and shoots her.
Well, first he guns her down.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
With the machine gun, and then he puts the muzzle to her forehead, and then he looks at her gun, and it's just like, okay, I'll take that. And then as he turns and walks away, immediately, bam, her eyes open up. It's just like, she jumps up. Wait a minute, I thought you just got shot. But she jumps up immediately and she bum rushes him. And then the reveal, I got a Kevlar vest on. Too bad. How is she so spry and nimble and limber and eager to just jump on this guy after being shot multiple times? I don't know.
Psychos do that in these movies.
I guess so.
Adrenaline.
The adrenaline is running really fucking high because he shoots her. She stands up. He shoots her a second time. She stands up. He shoots her a third time. She stands up. He shoots her a fourth time. She finally stays down. Jesus Christ.
And we get she's now added to the list.
Which is curious when that happens, because when she kills that girl after she says, "What am I supposed to do?" I am used to seeing the count happen, not necessarily at the end of the day, but I was curious that it happened, and then we get the count immediately again right after she's killed. It's just like, huh.
Got 7 left to go, I think it is.
So, when we have that happen again, I don't know. I found it a little confusing because I was kind of thinking, do they always show it right after people die? Yeah, I guess they do. Yeah,
they do it at, after groups of people die or after a block of people die. Sometimes it's after one person. A lot of times if it's multiple people, they'll wait till all the people die.
Yeah. And so, when she's being shot repeatedly with the handgun by Crazy 88, you have Bach's aria, orchestral suite number 3 playing. We have this classic piece by Bach as she's being shot, and she stands up and she gets shot a second time, and she falls down and she stands up. She gets shot a third time, and then she stands up and she gets shot a fourth time, and I have this classical music of the aria playing. Why does this work? Oh, it doesn't.
I think I counted 18 times that we get a listing of who's died and how many are left.
It's frequent.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But the music continues to roll, and after that happens, then we're hearing about what's happening for the I think it's the third day. And so what we get is I refer to them now as Trio 1 and Trio 2. Trio 1 is Nana and Naka and Kawada, and Trio 2 are the guys that discovered
The hackers.
the hackers. There you go. And they have their ordnance.
Right. And so they've made bombs and Molotov cocktails, and they've hacked the system.
Well, hacker number 1 basically turns everything off first.
I was really hoping that was going to go somewhere.
So did I. I thought they were going to get in and disrupt the system,
Some sort of
and by
leverage.
system I mean like the government.
Yeah,
or
there was going to be some sort of leverage that happened.
I gotta say, this whole fucking thing, this whole bit with the nerds and Crazy 88 dude and us leading up to the finale, pretty anticlimactic.
Well, they do say we only have like 15 minutes before they reboot the system. So they have to do whatever they were going to do within 15 minutes of turning off.
But they didn't do anything.
Well, they were on their way to the truck, but who's waiting for them outside?
Right, which kind of makes it anticlimactic.
Yeah.
All of this stuff going down.
And he just starts spraying everywhere,
And 2 of them get it right away, right? 2 of the 3. It's the orange-haired dude.
Yeah, so the first guy, he's thinking it's Nana and Naka showing
and he
up.
runs right up and gets shot.
Yep.
And then the second dude
There's-
gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
And as the third dude's getting shot, he goes and then he sets the bomb off.
Well, it's interesting because I saw earlier on he was kind of building that little detonator thing it looked like, he pushed a button and it hit something and I couldn't figure out what it was. He put that on the front of the truck so that if he could crash the truck into something, it would set off the bomb.
Yeah.
And so he goes up and he just hits that to set off the bomb.
Yeah.
And I thought, is Crazy 80 dead at this point? Because he was like inside that explosion area.
He was right there. He was like less than 10 feet away,
He's not dead per se, but he is blind.
apparently.
It was a pretty
So-
cool scene when he turned around and had the blood coming out of his eyes and it's all white and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
They are getting ready for this final showdown.
But I was bummed because then there goes the secret of the mics have microphones in them, or the headsets, the collars, the necklaces. Thank you. The necklaces have microphones in them. Oh, there goes that secret. Nobody knows that. It died with them.
Except, I got the impression that Kawada already knew all of this. He knew about the microphones. He knew about it because he plays off of later on using the microphone. And the teacher guy, he's smarter than all the military guy. When everything starts going haywire and crazy, he just walks over to the power, turns off the power, and then just turns it back on and says, "Okay, we're good."
So Kawada, okay, pretty clever there. Gets a shot on the collar.
Yeah. And boom, no more neck, I guess, for Crazy 88 guy.
That's
Which
pretty
I'm
good
kind of
aim.
thinking that's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good aim there. But of course, Crazy 88 gets a shot off that hits Quada. I don't know.
Naturally.
I don't know. Was that obvious or?
Yeah,
I don't know if I caught that the first time.
Yeah, no, I saw him get hit because in the grand scheme of things, I still don't know where this movie is going at this point or how they're going to end it. But the two transfer kids, them both taking each other out, kind of in a way, made sense.
Mm-hmm.
On the final morning, Kawada pretends to kill Shuya and Noriko, knowing the collars contain microphones. Kitano believes Kawada is a sole survivor and brings him to the military base. Kitano soon discovers that Kawada hacked the system and disabled Tsuya and Noriko's tracking devices. They enter the control room and confront him. Kitano reveals a painting showing that Noriko as the game's winner. He explains that he felt rejected by both his students and his daughter. Because Noriko never disrespected him, he began viewing her as a surrogate daughter. Kitano asks Noriko to kill him. When he threatens them, Tsuya shoots him. Kitano answers his final phone call from his daughter before dying. Shuya, Noriko, and Kawada escape the island by boat. Kawada says he is glad to have finally found true friends, then dies from his injuries. Noriko later gives Shuya the knife Nobu used against Kitano. Declared fugitives by the Japanese government, Shuya and Noriko are last seen running toward Shibuya Station. Roll credits. And so now that Crazy 88's dead, there's only 3 left. It's Nana and Nugi.
And they're on the shore.
Yep.
And then we have this possible reveal. Remember when I said you can't trust anybody?
They're like, no, dude, don't do it. And he was threatening to kill him.
Yeah, he said, I just brought you along this whole way to use you to get me to the end.
Right. And then we hear a gunshot.
2 gunshots.
And we cut to the headquarters. And Kitano's like, oh, that's it. Game's over. And they're like, the military's like, well, we got to go confirm the kills. And Kitano's like, nope, it's over. And so we cut to
the whole military. They're all getting up and leaving, and he's pretty much the only one left. And there he is out there, and he's doing like calisthenics.
His exercises.
From his past, apparently, I'm guessing.
If you ever watch school videos in Japan, they always do the calisthenics in the morning before classes. So that's a typical thing for schools. Teachers lead it.
And so headband guy, he shows up.
And he gets a nice job.
And because he is the winner-ish. But it turns out he's not the winner.
Well, it's interesting because while the teacher's talking to him upstairs, he offers him a beer and all that. And he says, I know you hacked the system. I know you hacked the collars. And that's right after he says that is when the other 2 then walk in.
The lovebirds, as he says.
Yeah.
The lovebirds show up. And so with that, I'm thinking, I knew that they were not dead. I sort of thought that maybe the 2 gunshots might have been shooting the collars, and maybe somehow he got the collars off that way. But I didn't think that they were dead. I thought that they were still alive. And so when they showed up like that, I was expecting that.
Yeah, I didn't think they were dead either, just from the way that they cut it all together. And no, they're not dead. They come in, they confront Kitano, and Kitano's like, well,
we're all going to go down together.
So he pulls out his gun.
Well, he first shows this painting, and the painting, apparently that painting was painted by the director. But it shows all the people killing each other, but in the center is the girl surrounded by kind of this light, basically saying he wanted her to win. He idolized her.
And as they are raising their guns to each other, Naka and Nana think that Kitano's going to kill him, but
Nana, he shoots the machine gun. Oh,
now he hits him.
and then, it's a squirt gun.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Hey, don't knock the method, because if you turn it around and it's all of a sudden Gran Torino, you're all about it and you fucking know it.
Well, I like the way this scene is set up is basically he says to him, if you don't shoot me, I'm going to shoot you. And so they, of course, shoot him. And then I thought it was interesting that he gets up, he wanders over to the couch.
The phone rings and he suddenly sits. Okay, so you just got sprayed with a machine gun, but you're going to immediately stand up and go over to the couch?
This has been happening for the past hour and 40 minutes.
Apparently, these Japanese people are trained to take some bullets.
Or they're just,
They have some serious endurance.
or they're just stormtrooper guns and they don't, they don't hit worth a damn.
Yeah. But he gets up, he takes the phone call from the daughter. He says, I can't remember what he says to the daughter, just basically fuck off, throws the phone on the ground and shoots it. So he really did have a real gun on him. He could have shot them, but he had used the squirt gun instead. And then I like how he takes the cookie, eats the cookie. And did you remember what his final words were?
Good cookie.
Some damn good cookies. And then he dies.
There you go. And then we are on the boat as the three survivors are
Which is what
getting away.
I figured because Kawada had said throughout the movie he had an escape plan. He knew how to get off the island. So he knew about this boat and had it already planned out that they were going to escape on this boat.
And they escape and become fugitives.
Well, Kawada does not, because it's revealed fortunately his wound is killing him. He's
Fatal.
dying.
Yeah. But just before that, I don't know. Just, the thing that that we have Naka say, she says, it's beautiful, even though it's where everyone died.
That is a little odd.
Yeah. And
Yeah. I mean, this whole fucking movie is a little odd.
But Kawada also reveals what his girlfriend's last words were too, which was along the lines of, at the end, I'm glad I found a true friend. And that's what Kawada says. He finally understands that, so he can die, peacefully knowing that he found true friends.
I feel sleepy.
Yeah. But he does tell them too, is you're going to need to basically hide once you get back to mainland. You're going to be on the run.
Yeah, and so then with that, we get that ends with, these two 15-year-olds, they're wanted on suspicion of murder, and so they're on the run.
And that was Battle Royale. What do you guys think? You guys ready to rate this flick?
I'm ready to rate this flick. How about you, Johnny? You ready to rate this flick?
Well, I looked in my randomly assigned backpack, and all I found was this lousy review. So here goes.
Hey, Professor, how do we do our ratings?
We do our ratings on a scale of 1 to 5 fucks. 5 fucks is a movie that we think is cinematic gold. A 1 fuck movie is a movie where you get done watching and you're thinking, I am never watching this again.
And what's a 0?
A 0 fuck movie is you get done watching it, you turn to your buddy and you're like, oh, for shit's sake, what the hell? Why would you make me watch this? I want 1 hour and 54 minutes of my life back.
Or in other words, we just don't give a fuck. All right, who wants to go first?
I can go first if you like.
All right, go for it.
But before I do, Don, you want to guess my rating?
You're going to give it 2 fucks.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Okay. Battle Royale had a unique, intriguing idea for its time, and the metaphor of losing childhood innocence is impossible to miss. The gritty direction and haunting use of classical music gives this movie a style all its own. Takeshi as Kitano delivers the film's standout performance, in my opinion. You hate him, you pity him, you understand him, and still think he's gone way too far. Unfortunately, this feels like one of those movies where the book properly draws you in much more than the film, making you care about each student. Here, aside from maybe 3 or 4 characters, the emotional connection just isn't there. I liked the story overall, but I wanted more time to connect with these characters before they started disappearing. You can definitely see how this movie influenced later films like Hunger Games. even if people behind them deny it. It's an important movie with a great concept, but for me, it never quite reached the emotional height I was hoping for. It's for those reasons I'm giving Battle Royale 2 out of 5 fucks.
Nailed it. You or me, sir?
You go first.
All right, I'll go. Battle Royale was an interesting watch. The way it was made and how it was put together was technically sound. I don't mind foreign films. I rather enjoy them a lot of the times. The subject matter for this, though, is depressing, and it's sad to think of a world where that would actually happen, right? And this does go on to generate a storm of, I don't want to say copycats, but a lot of other films that are very similar. I guess the bottom line being depressing. So, I mean, if you like gore, if you like depressing films, this might be right up your alley. But for this guy, I'm giving Battle Royale 2 fucks.
Battle Royale is a movie that I have no idea what I'm getting into. And having this experience when I'm watching it for the first time, oh boy, you know, I read the IMDb preview. I didn't watch the preview, and it's just like, okay, so this is more or less going to kind of sort of be a Hunger Games sort of story. Okay, I can work with that. And having a story arc where all of your characters are going to end up dead is it going to be a slog for me. That's going to be rough for me to contend with. The other thing that works against me is that I have characters that I am not going to remember their names very well, and I'm going to be trying to, piece together who these characters are when I see them, and so that's extra work for me to have the story flow so I can get behind my protagonists and my antagonists. And so it was slow going for me to watch this movie because of all of those things that I've just mentioned. The characters are put in a dire situation that I have little fondness for it. These style of story arcs are things that I don't seek out. However, doing the pod, this is what we do. We review movies. And so the good, the bad, the absurd, whatever it is, this is what I do. So I put forth my best effort to critique the movie as I think that it's put together. And there are some moments that are relatively stylish that I think are dramatic to look at. The music is eclectic, and I am struck by the choices that were made because I feel like they don't work very well for me for some situations. Kitano, the school teacher, I don't get his vibe at all. And he was somebody that I just didn't get behind. Our protagonists, as I said, Nana and Naka are our female protagonists. I was happy to have them to help move me through the story arc and understand, I can focus on these people. And I was hopeful that there was going to be more than just the three of them getting off the island. I was hopeful that the story arc of the bombs and shutting the system down was going to result in having at least those three guys, or maybe two of those guys at least, getting off the island as well and upending the system that hopefully would cause some sort of change in this dystopian society, whereas I'm guessing it's just going to go ahead and happen again and again and again. And so it's like pretty darn bleak. I don't think I'm going to be wanting to watch this movie anytime soon. The violence and the gore that happen numerously, where I said to myself so many times, what the fuck? As opposed to saying, what the fuck? When I hear, myself saying, what the fuck? And it goes up in its octave, it's something that is bewildering. It's like, I didn't expect that. It's like, whoa. But when my octave goes down and I go, what the fuck? And like I said it numerous times throughout the movie. It's like, that's not a good thing. So I respect that this is a stylishly made movie that is appreciated by many people. It's just not for me. And I'm giving this movie 0.75 fucks.
0.75 fucks from the professor. With 2 fucks from me and the comic book guy and 0.75 fucks from the professor, which now gives it an average of 1.6 fucks, which puts it in the 44th spot with A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. It is slightly better than Halloween, the 2007 remake, Scanner Darkly, and Idiocracy. And it is slightly worse than Blazing Saddles, Moulin Rouge, and Labyrinth. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Three Guys in a Flick. If you would like to know which movie we're going to be reviewing next, please check out the website. Speaking of which, hey, John, where can they find us?
They can find us at 3guysinaflick.com, where you can find all of our show notes, all of our shows available there. There's a voicemail button you can click on SpeakPipe that if you want to leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on the show. There's also a form on there that you can send a movie to go right into the Bronco helmet. You can also find us at all of social media, where on Tuesdays I've been announcing what movie we're releasing that week. And you can find us at any place that hosts podcasts. And while you're listening to us, make sure to subscribe, give us a 5, and if you want, in the comments, you can leave us a movie you'd like us to review.
Speaking of comments, do we have any this week?
We do have one from Show 26 regarding Best in Show. It says, I agree. The energy that the host brought to this episode was really low. The movie is outstanding, and anybody that gets dogs and dog owners gets this movie. Really low quality podcast.
Well,
Wow.
Show 26. I do apologize. Hey, you can't hit dingers every week.
Don, did we have any other comments?
We have one from Lucas W. Hit us up on Instagram and said, hey, 3 guys, love the pod. Please keep it coming. Thank you for all the free hours of entertainment while I'm busy with my workday. Much appreciated. Just curious to know if there was a way to get a confirmation on entry of movies into the Bronco helmet. I have put in a lot of movies, and I'm 99.9% sure I commented on a pod asking for all of the Marvel movies to be entered. In the latest pod, Iron Man, I'm positive I asked for Thor and every movie Dawn requested. Did I do something, say something that offended you guys? If so, I apologize. Thanks again for the content and keep up the pods. You guys are awesome.
I'd like to answer that one if I can, Don.
Please do.
We actually have a link on our website that if you go to the submit movie area, there's also something that says view the Bronco helmet. If you go there, you can see every single movie we currently have submitted. You could search it as well as all the movies we have reviewed straight out of the Bronco helmet. And you have a submission form there. You can add one to the Bronco helmet or add your name to one that's already submitted. I will say that I must have missed that comment, and I will get all of the Marvel movies entered into the Bronco helmet.
Thanks, Lucas and Shu, for the comments. We appreciate it. I want to thank Nolan for throwing Battle Royale into the Broncos helmet. We had a lot of fun watching it and reviewing it. We hope you have a lot of fun listening to it. I also want to thank anyone else who listens and who has suggested a movie. If you keep listening, we'll keep recording. For 3 Guys in a Flick, I'm Don.
I'm John.
And I'm Ken. Thanks for listening.
3 guys with some rights, yeah, dive into the flicks. We're here for the real talk, no time for the tricks. Dawn as the captain, steering us right. Kid drops, now they're shedding light. John with the comics, bringing the hype. From the good, the bad, to the absurd, we break it down, make sure you heard. Passion for the screen, we ride or die about movies. You know, we always give a fuck, no lie.
Should I do it like a...
Now sound like him.
No, dude, you're not getting me on tape doing it.
Don't.
See?
Don't.
Thank you. 2 against 1. Except wiggling the paper when I'm trying to talk.
All right, do it one more time. I'm sorry.
That's okay, buddy. I love you anyway. See? It gave him time to get that out.
I panicked.
Sorry, bud. You have no, it's not stage fright. Performance anxiety.
Yeah.
He enters the current game to average.
Avenge.
Mortally wounded, Mamura donates, manages to detonate Kirimama's
Crazy D.
declared fugitives. All right, what do you got?
Well, I feel like there's one obvious one.
Booby Royale.
I had that one. Booby Royale.
No.
What?
Butthole Royale.
Oh, he went the other. He went the other side. I also have Orgy Royale.
I had Battle Railer.
Oh, interesting. Kinky Royale.
Battle Rear Nail.
Bit much. What about you? You got any more?
Butthole Boys Pal.
Wow. Butthole Boys Pal.
I personally like Booby Royale.
It's either that or Orgy Royale, because in an Orgy Royale you get a lot of boobies too.
Okay.
Right?
Which one?
There is that.
Which one are you picking, Professor?
What was the first one again?
Booby Royale.
No, I think Orgy Royale.
How many?
I'm going to go 4.5 tissues.
Wow. It is an orgy. I'm going to go 7.5.
I'm giving it 2.5. I would have gone higher with Booby Royale.
All right, for Booby Royale, what do you got?
A 5.
5? 5 for Booby Royale?
I'm a boob guy.
Yeah, well, yeah. But you're going to get boobs in an orgy, bud. That's all I'm saying.
And may all your days and nights be filled with happiness. All right, fuck off. Good night.
Catch the vibe as three guys in a flick, keep the passion alive.